Hey guys, I'm in my kitchen today. I guess you can tell. The lighting is just really poor out there in the sunroom right now, and it just made me look really washed out. Don't need anything like that. But anyway, thank you for tuning in today. And sorry it's been a while since I posted a video. And like I said in the last one, we've had a really, really busy summer, which is good. That our inventory has tripled, which is good. Our sales have tripled, which is good. But we're really busy. I mean, to keep up with that and to take all the pictures and get them posted and all that, it really is time consuming. But we're good and we're loving it. But anyway, I just wanted to talk to you about a little incident that happened with me. It's been close to a month now, well, 2 or 3 weeks. But anyway, what had happened is that I was at this estate sale, and so I start scavenging out right away for purses, especially Coach. I really like Coach. That's my personal preference, but I've carried for over 30 years myself. But anyway, I walked in this bedroom, and there were purses out on the bed, and there was this sign that said all purses $15. I thought, okay. So anyway, I found 4. 3 were Coach purses. One was like a regular little purse. One was like a little clutch, and one was like what I would call a briefcase, but Coach calls it a saddlebag or not a saddle, sachet or something like that. Anyway, so I found those amongst other things, and I almost didn't get this one because it had a metal tag, and I'd never seen it before. And what I didn't know at the time is that's good. But if you're familiar with Coach bags, you know that we always look at that creed patch, and it's that leather patch inside the purse, and it'll give you, information. And those have changed over the years. So if you find a really old one, it doesn't give you the same information as one today. Because and I'll do another video on all that at another time. But anyway, I found the metal tag. I was a little concerned. I thought, is that real? Anyway, I just went ahead and got it. Brought it home and started doing research and found out that the metal tag indeed was a good sign, that it meant that it was the pre-creed era, which they would just put this little metal tag in there, and there wasn't a number or anything. So that meant it was probably in the 60s. The bag was in decent condition other than a couple little ink spots on the front, and a couple of broken threads, and about a 2-inch area on the strap. And you can see all that in the video here at the end of the video, or toward the end of the video. But anyway, long story short, I researched this bag for about 2 weeks before I put it up on eBay. And I was seeing comps anywhere from like $800 all the way to $3,000. I thought, this thing ain't worth $3,000. So I just thought, you know what? I'm just going to throw it up for $475, because once that you hit that $500 mark, there's certain things that you have to go through to make sure that the item is real, that it isn't a knockoff. So anyway, I just went ahead and put it up for $475. I put it up Friday night. It took me 2 weeks to even find a name for this purse. I would find some very similar, but finally found it, and it's a kangaroo. And if you know anything about Coach, which I thought I knew a lot about it, but I didn't know this, that is a very sought after purse. Found that out later. But anyway, went ahead and put it up, and put it up on eBay. Got it from my computer and walked into my living room to sit down into my, what I call my TV chair. And my phone ding. And I thought, what? And I looked, and the purse had sold, already been paid for. And I thought, wow. And then this lady sent me this long email telling me how thrilled she was to have found the purse, and that she couldn't wait to get it. And if I had anything else in that category or in that era, that she would definitely be interested in it. So then I get another email, and this lady asked if the sale was final, and I told her yes, and she said that if the lady backed out, she wanted to be next in line, and that she would give me $700 for the purse. And I'm like, wow. So then a couple of days later, because that was Friday night, then on Sunday, I get this email from this lady, and she asked me, was the sale complete? And I told her yes. And she said she was about 2 minutes too late on it. And she offered me $1,000 that I could cancel the order. I didn't know you could do anything like that. And I was like, no, that's kind of like going back on my word, and that's just not who I am. I didn't tell her all that. That's just what I was thinking. So I just kind of avoided that comment and just, thanked her for looking at her store and blah, blah, blah. And so then she went on to tell me that she was a dealer, a Coach dealer, and that was kind of the unicorn of Coach purses. That's what every dealer and every collector wants. And that's whenever she told me that the purse would have probably went up toward $3,000. And it kind of felt like a little punch in the gut, but I'm like, okay, you win some, you lose some. And it's kind of like in the car business, was in the car business for 20-something years. You lose money on one, you'll make it up on the next one. So, you just have to let it go. But in reality, I still make good money on the sale. And I could have made a lot more. But it is what it is. But anyway, I hope you enjoy the videos. I am highlighting that particular purse, and then the other two purses that I picked up. And at some point, I am going to do a video of just Coach purses and what that tag looks like and how to spot a fake and things like that. Because I'm going to tell you, in this experience, I learned a lot because I've done a lot of research. So anyway, like I said, we've been really busy. I do apologize. I really want this channel to grow. But it's my fault. I've got to get content out here. And I'm thinking about doing some shorts and just trying to, stay in touch, because I can do shorts a lot easier than I can do these long videos. But that's something that I'm probably going to do for a while until it kind of slows down a little bit. Or, well, I really don't want it to slow down, but you know what I'm talking about. But be sure and hit that like and subscribe button. And if you've got any comments, please leave the comments in below, because I love to hear from you. And of course, it helps the channel to grow. And enjoy the videos. If you got any questions or have any similar experience, let me know, and see you in the next video. Thank you. God bless. Okay, here's a very unusual piece, a very unusual Coach purse that I've never run across before. And to be honest, I almost passed on it because I was debating on whether I really thought it was real, but my senses was telling me it was. And you can see how, you can see what good condition this bag is in. And I'm going to tell you a little bit about the age of it here in just a little bit. But one thing is that I noticed is that there's no hardware here on the strap. See, that's all one piece. And of course, you have your little Coach tag here with your little beaded chain, but the only hardware on the purse is your buckle right there. And something else that was kind of worrying me and turning me off is that there's a little bit of thread breakage right here, just right here on this, right here on the very end there. But other than that, the bag is in really good condition. And so the texture of the bag just felt really different for me. One other thing that caught my eye is this little latch. And, it's a little turn latch, and which is a indication of Bonnie cashing, which I didn't know at the time. But this little latch, you just turn it, and then this flap comes up. One thing that was kind of steering me away from it is that it's got an ink stain right there, and it had gone through to this side. Now, one thing about the Bonnie Cashin bags that I have learned since I bought it, because I've done a lot of research, is that they're very functional bags. That was one of her design traits, is that she wanted something functional and something pretty. So this, and it took a while for me to find the exact bag, because this bag is really old. Okay, but you can see the functionality here is that you've got this little pouch here. So It's called a kangaroo purse, which makes sense. You've got your little pouch there. And then instead of your little inside, well, you still got your little inside zip pocket, okay? So you got your little inside zip pocket. And that's another thing that was very enticing about it, is that I was like, man, there's just this purse just makes sense. But I was still a little concerned because I wasn't seeing the classic Coach logo on the inside. Now, that tells you how educated I am on Coach. I'm a little bit more educated now. But all I seen was this little metal tag. And I thought, well, where's my patch? So after a lot of research, I found out that there is what's called a pre-Creed era, to where you do not have the patch. And so you just have this little metal, tag. That's all you've got. So that is telling you this purse is really old. This is probably late 60s. And for that age, then I was like, man, this thing is in really good condition. I was looking at the comps, and the comps were showing me, I mean, other than the ink stain and a little bit of thread breakage I showed you on that one strap, it is in really good condition. And it smells good. This leather is nice and heavy. And the purse is just in really good condition. So I started looking at the comps, and I was seeing them as high as $3,000. And I thought, probably not for me, because I wasn't real sure about it. So I wanted a quick mover. But I want a fair price. So what I finally decided to do was to list it for $475. And so I listed the purse, and I listed the purse, literally got it from my computer and walked a few steps to my computer, to my TV, what I call my TV chair, and probably was 5 minutes or maybe 6. Well, it was definitely under 10, we'll say that. And I got a ding. The purse had already sold. There was no negotiating, no anything. I was like, okay. And this lady apparently is a collector, and there was actually 2 more Coach purses at this same estate sale that I'm getting ready to list, and you'll see those later on in the video. But she also wants to take a look at that. But something unusual happened after it was sold. I got a message from another lady, and she said, if something happens that the buyer decides that they don't want the purse, please let me know. And so I learned a little bit. Probably I had this priced about 1/3 of what it was worth, and at least I'm thinking now. But I did educate myself and learned a little history, which was all good. But this is a beautiful piece. So the moral of the story is, I'm going to educate you a little bit about Coach purses and what to look for. And I guess you can say I found out the hard way, but I also educated myself, so it's all good. So let's move on to the next purse. Okay, so here is another really old Coach bag, and this is another Bonnie Chasen. And for the tag on, of course, you can see all the common characteristics here. You've got, your clutch strap, your wristlet, which was, even a thing back in the 70s. And then you've got this little double strand little strap there. Okay, but just look how rich that leather looks. And I just wish you could feel how buttery soft it is. This is in really good condition considering the age. We talked about the other label, the metal label, earlier. And this one is also really old. You can see that label there. Okay, and you can see where it says Made in New York City. but you see that there's no numbers and there's no letters. And this is pre-serial number, which means that this is probably early 1970s, according to the information that I have researched. So you can see inside the bag, you can see this really nice heavy-duty zipper. I guess that they thought nobody wants to be replacing a zipper, right? And it's got your gold tone, both for the zipper and for the detachable strap. And then there's your traditional little Coach tag. But again, this is pre-serial number, pre-style number. This was one of the first stamps that Coach had, because the one, as you recall earlier, it was metal. Okay, and this is your traditional just rich leather purse. And that is really, really cute. Okay, really, really good quality there. Really, really, really. Right. Okay, next then we have this, you can call it a briefcase. You can call it, some of them are calling it a sachet, but you can, again, see the rich color there. You see those beautiful handles. Got a little bit of wear right there, but this thing is made in the 1970s. So really good condition considering. Look like somebody got some really good use out of it. Look how rich that leather is. Now, with this particular one, this is the 1970s as well, but you can see there on the tag, and now we've got a registration number, but it's not like the tags that we're used to seeing today, because the tags that we're used to seeing probably from the 80s on up, you're going to have letters and numbers. Okay, so these are the really old Coaches that were made probably in the 1970s from all the information that I'm gathering. And they're just so unique, and it's so fun to research these. Look at that leather shine there. And see this, where that you have your patch. There's also a little pouch, you know, I guess for car keys or whatever, but there's no other pouch in there. Of course, you've got your heavy-duty zipper. And so there you go. So I learned something whenever I picked up these 3 bags, and now I'm passing on the information that I learned to you, and I hope you enjoyed this. And I'm going to let you see what I price these for and when they sell. It'll be in the video as well. So stay tuned. Thanks so much for watching today. I hope that you enjoyed the video, and I hope that you learned something. I certainly did. And be sure and hit that like and subscribe button and leave a comment. I'm always happy to hear from you guys, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a wonderful day.